You're watching Live and Breaking in Republic, and today the people of Darogar Alga Pakhura Char voluntarily demolished the Madrassa and the residence adjacent to the Madrassa, which was previously used by two suspected Bangladeshi nationals, as strong resentment towards jihadi activities. The arrested accused, Jalaluddin Sheikh, engaged with both the absconding Bangladeshi AQIS ABT cadre as teachers of this Darogar Alga Pakhura Char Madrassa at different times during 2020 to 22. No government resources were used in the said demolition. So these are visuals of the Madrassa, which was allegedly linked to various terror activities, and local people of the area themselves demolished the Madrassa. Anirudh to take us through this breaking development. Anirudh, people's anger erupting there after there were allegations. What can you tell us about the demolition of this Madrassa with alleged links to terror?
This demolition has taken place in Goalpara district of Assam, where the Goalpara module was busted, and this is the house actually where this radical elements, the accused AQIS and Al-Qaeda and ABT cadres who were working as imams in this madrasa were living, and as the people have expressed their solidarity to the crackdown that is being carried out in the state by the Assam police and the government. The people of this area today came out voluntarily and demolished this madrasa. Let me tell you that, in fact, it was a voluntary expression by the public, and no police was there. It was the local residents who came out and demolished this house adjacent to the madrasa where the Jalaluddin Sheikh and other accused were staying.
And what other updates can you give us about, the status as far as investigations into the case are concerned? Shravan, joining us now, our senior editor. Shravan, it's over to you to take us through the significance of this. We see here people, taking action themselves, and no government agencies used in this particular demolition of a madrasa with alleged links to terror.
Well, I would say that this is a resounding victory for not just the Assam government, but also for the Assam police, primarily because of the actions that have been taken so far, and people have actually, come out in full support. Now, this is a clear example of the same. What we are picking up right now, in fact, we'll also be joined in by the special DGP of Assam Police right now. I'm given to understand that he would be joining us to provide us some details. In fact, Rukma, if you can just take one quick question with Anirudh, because I'm just trying to connect with the special DGP of Assam Police who would be coming to on this broadcast. If you can just take one question with him. Meanwhile, I'll just come back on the story. We'll try and connect the special DGP on this broadcast to give us more details, because this is a voluntary action being done by the people. There was no involvement of the police so far. So it's undoubtedly, it shows the kind of support that the government basically enjoys on the ground. And more importantly, people have realized that it is time that you need to act against the jihadi activities. We cannot perhaps live in the illusion that, there have been elements across the border, especially in Bangladesh, the ABT particular, they wanted to establish a base in Assam so that they can carry forward with their eastern operations. That is exactly what the agencies, the Assam police, they've carried out a major crackdown on, and that is the reason why AQIS as well as ABT is certainly finding it very difficult to operate in the state of Assam. I'll just request you, Rukma, if you can bring in Anirudh. I'm just going to try and connect with the special DGP and get him on this broadcast, providing us more details of the operations that have been carried out so far and why they are also looking at this as some sort of a vindication on the stand that has been taken.
Right, Shavan, we'll be back with you. And as we were telling you, and Shavan was just reiterating the fact this is a voluntary act by the people of this particular local area. Anirudh, well, if you can hear me, when we talk about, well, major developments, major points that should be highlighted as far as this particular incident is concerned, it is a major breakthrough because it reflects the people's anger against jihadist activities.
Definitely, because
Well, in fact, we are now joined by the Special DGP of Assam Police, Mr. GP Singh. Mr. Singh, thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. This is undoubtedly heartwarming to see how the locals have come together. All this while, we were essentially looking at an operation being carried out by the Assam Police, a crackdown on jihadi activities. But today, what we are witnessing unfolding before our eyes is the fact that now locals have come together. They are supporting the action that has been taken by the Assam government and the Assam police. Could you tell us a little bit more details of what you've witnessed in this very area?
In the last 7 months since February this year, we have registered 7 cases against various modules of Ansarul Bangla team associated with Al-Qaeda, and 40 persons have been arrested. Largely these arrests have taken place from districts of Morigaon, Barpeta, Bogaigaon, Dhubri and Goalpara. This morning we received an information that some of the villagers have gathered in Pakyura Madrassa in Goalpara, and they have started demolishing this madrasa from where one person was arrested. And it was learned during investigation that in this madrasa, 2 persons of Bangladesh origin had taken shelter over the period of last 6 to 7 months. It has been heartwarming for us to see this because this shows that the kind of antipathy that local Muslims have towards people with suspected jihadi linkages. And if this goes on, then I'm sure that people of Assam together will defeat the designs of jihadis in months to come.
Mr. GP Singh, just one final question before I let you go. In terms of the spread that you're really looking at and the operations of the Assam police, are you perhaps looking at perhaps broadening this, given the fact that in the last few months, be it the Barpeta module or several other modules, we've seen a major crackdown from the Assam police?
Yeah, so there are a couple of aspects that have to be looked into. One is that we have to connect the dots nationally, because we have come to this understanding during investigation that has been carried out by us as well as by the National Investigation Agency, that there are multiple modules in Assam, then Bhopal, Tripura, which are connected to each other. So it's a kind of same set of people of Bangladesh origin who have traveled here and there for the purpose of indoctrination and for fueling the fundamentalist fire. The next aspect which is important is that generally when we speak of Islamic population in Assam, they are generally not in favor of fundamentalist ideology. And today's action by the people in Goalpara is a reflection of that. And this gives us hope that it would not be years, it would be months by the time we neutralize this threat in our state.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Singh, for joining us on this broadcast and putting this into perspective. Undoubtedly, it's heartwarming to see when locals have now come out in the open and they're supporting the actions of the Assam police, keeping in mind the grave danger that the state has essentially faced over the years because of the infiltration of these kind of anti-national elements, the jihadi activities which were perhaps gaining momentum, but once again nipped in the bud by the Assam police and the government.
Well, Shravan, as you tell us, well, one name, stands out. Very prominent name in this entire case is that of Jalaluddin Sheikh. And as you were speaking with the DGP, he says that indoctrination of students who attend these madrasas is what is being carried out here. So anger erupting, as Shravan just said, and put into perspective. Well, it's a major breakthrough. People supporting the police in this Assam village as they destroy a madrasa after news surfaces and reports surface of its links to jihadi elements. Jalaluddin Sheikh, one of the main accused in the case, is now under arrest. Shravan, our senior editor, joining us on that, as also Anirudh. Many thanks to both Shravan and Anirudh.